Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about something related to CMDB. Let's discuss a few basics of CMDB, how we can mark, let's say, a particular class as a principal class. Now the question arises, what is a principal class actually? There's no clear definition given in the ServiceNow docs as well, and there's not much content available on the community. So basically, a principal class is something on which you want to report your data on. For example, there's a configuration item field on the incident form, on the change form. If you are not marking any CI class as a principal class, then it will show you all the data from the CMDB, whether it is 1 lakh records or 2 lakh records or even more than that, depending on how big your organization is. But if out of all those CIs, which are again part of some CI classes, there are certain classes which you want to keep a track of, and there are these classes on which you want to report a data on. So there could be certain classes which are not much useful to you, which you do not want to track a data. For example, it could be maybe the disk class, and your principal class could be, let's say, Linux server, your Windows server. There are issues with Windows server and you want to report on that, so you mark that Windows server class as your principal class. But at the same time, disk is not so much important when you talk about your organizational structure, and you see that there would not be much issues when it comes to disk, or you don't want to report anything on that, something like that. So you do not mark that class as a principal class. I hope the concept of principal class is a little bit clear over here. Now, if I want to mark a particular class as a principal class, how can I do that? So we have a CI class manager when we talk about CMDB. And if you are a configuration manager, this is where you will be spending most of your time on, because this is where you can do more or less everything related to the CMDB, like marking a particular class as a principal class, and configuring a lot many other things which we will talk about in upcoming videos. So let me click on hierarchy, and if I write the name of any of the classes, let's say I want to mark Windows Server as my principal class, so I can directly select Windows Server over here, and this is the option where I can mark Windows Server as the principal class. Now a quick thing over here is the out of the box, the reference qualifier which is mentioned for the incident form, the change form, that considers all the CIs if there are no principal classes. But if you mark any of the class as a principal class, then it will show only the configuration items, only the CIs related to the principal classes only. So let me mark this as a principal class, and if I save it, Windows Server is marked as a principal class now. Let's go back to the incident form. I hope I have not modified the out of the box reference qualifier for any of my demo. If I go to this incident, let's say there's a configuration item field. Do we have enough data to showcase? Let's click the magnifying glass icon. So you can see that all the classes which are mentioned over here are from the Windows Server class. Now let's go back to our CI class manager again, and now if I go for the Windows Server again, click here, basic info, And if I mark this class as again not a principal class, I will be able to see more data in my configuration item field on the incident form. Yeah, you can see there are now 2,979 CIs. Previously, it was only showing the Windows Server CIs, which are only 49 when it comes to the total count. So thank you so much for watching. This is how we can mark a class as a principal class when it comes to CMDB.